SCP-93 Blue Test. Mirror Test 1, Color Blue. The subject is D20384, male, 34 years, strong physique. Subject's background shows interest in murder and attempted suicide. Subject is cooperative in all steps of testing. Subject entered the provided mirror while holding SCP-93, which emitted a blue color. Outside technicians observed that the mirror retained a true reflection until subject had completely passed into it, at which time the view changed to an outdoor landscape heavily tinged in blue. Video feeds follow and attached media. Camera activates flickers to view. The subject is looking out over some field reported by technicians. It looks like typical lowland plains. Everything has a heavy blue tinge overlapping the normal color. No discernible landmarks visible in the subject's pan's view left or right, only grass, weeds, and breeze falling into taller grass. No trees, no living beings visible. Subject moves forward as instructed, traveling for approximately 500 steps before something becomes visible. Patch of the land up ahead, barrens and the grass can be seen dying as subject approaches it. Approximately 300 steps forward, subject is standing before a hole in the ground, and the hole has been dug using unknown types of primitive origin. Pulley system engaging the camera suffers a slight shudder. Subject is instructed to enter the hole. After a mild protesting, agrees to do so. There is no apparent method of descent, such as ladder or rope. Subject relies entirely on his own hands and the pulley system to slow the descent. Approximately 100 meters of cable is used before the bottom is reached. Light source provided to field kit activated 50 meters down, when outside source became unreliable. Sweeping gestures of the light reveal nothing more than dirt, even at the bottom of the hole. Subject moves forward with assistance of light source to ask about the blue tinge. Subject expresses confusion, says there is no such tinge from his perspective and never was. Light is visible down the passage, and 150 meters of cable has been used. Out of the camera's eye, sound is recorded and the firearm being prepared. When questioned about these actions, subject states justified precautions and move forward. The tunnel turns from bare dirt to a concrete enclosure. Subject explains of a stench. The light source is revealed to be a ceiling light fixture in series, which with less than a quarter broken into other functions. A series of 6 doors, 3 to a side, span before the camera view, with the 7th door visible at the end. The corridor has been blocked by what looks like a generic metal shelving debris. Debris shows signs of rusting in typical retail store until suggesting other humans' presence. Subject requested to try doors in whichever order he chooses. Subject tries first door, then right door. Door is locked, does not open. Second door tries to open, but does not budge. Unlocked, but blocked. Closing second door, third door is tried. Same results as first. Going up to the other side of the third door. Does open fully, and light is brought to the room. Portable light switched off at the time. The subject pans area and expecting room. The room is bare, no contents, but walls are filthy. Subject states material on walls isn't dirt, but he can't identify it. Seems to resemble melted plastic, but is brown in color rather than black. Door is closed. Second door on left side with no handle. Does not move when pushed. The hole where the handle is plugged by unknown material. All doors are shaped in such a way that nothing can visibly escape from the sides. Space for movement is too thin to look through even at the ground level. First door in the left hand is locked, but part of the key is present in the lock. The stem of the ridges. The back has been broken off. With effort, subject manipulates key to open the door and immediately begins coughing. Complaining of a stench, walls of the room clean, his floor and ceilings coated with the same strange products. He goes to the third room. In this room, where the makeshift cot made the aged blanket and the pillow, wooden crate containing small boxes of what they have been foodstuffs. Language appears in the video as squiggles, however, subject states that they simply read cereal. The second crate in the room contains what appears to be an empty water bottles that are dried out. Book lays next to the cot, closed, no title or identifying marks. The wall is what appears to be clipped articles, but language cannot be read. Subject asked to remove the clippings for retrieval. All articles but one crumple will touch due to age. The intent article and put a field sample containing it seems to be erased compared to the others. Asked to investigate the book, subject begins to move towards it. Audio on the tape goes strange and a high-pitched screeching noise like grinding metal emits all sound for 3.5 seconds. Subject has not touched the book still, and when the noise stops, subject asks control to repeat request. Control made no request during this time as headsets are removed. Subject is advised to leave the room, notes that the door begins slowly closing on its own if left alone. Will close. Subject advised to leave the door alone and to investigate door on right. Careful review of the following 10 seconds of tape shows that as the camera pans, a figure is visible at the end of the tunnel where the 7th door is. The door is open only enough for a face to be seen through a crack just as the door slightly closed. No details can be seen. Subject investigates the second door on the right with no intent of anything seen out of the ordinary. This door is then pushed against the moves, and after repeat bashing, moves through view inside an angle.
Mic off. Mic on.
Corkboard is visible and more articles attached to it on top of the box of cereal can be seen on the floor. That appears to be hand laying palm up. Subject closes door and pans camera past door 7, which remains closed. Seeing nowhere else to explore, subject requests to return. Subject poses no protest and complains of the ever-increasing stench. Subject returns back down the tunnel where his camera feed does not change or show anomaly, but control reports a sudden surge in cable movement, pulling an additional 100 meters of cable through before going slack again and then tightening. Video feed shows subject ascending tunnel slowly while control attempts to verify integrity of the pulley system. Subject requests to stop the ascent, but states he is not climbing. Rope is pulling him up. Panic sits on both sides, and subject is informed to ready fire. Upon reaching top of hole, nothing is visible on the camera, and the subject reports nothing has changed in the landscape. Then begins to return trip following the path of the cable. Traveling for approximately 900 steps, subject asks how much cable was used. Control admits they are unsure due to the complications. But subjects traveled in a straight line, reach a hole, so it should be a straight line back. Subject becomes concerned when he states that more cable is visible now moving at a 90-degree angle from a point in the ground. Subject pans camera and around full circle slowly on film behind subject crowd of 37 countable figures stands silently. Features are unidentifiable, they are lacking the blue tinge that dominates the landscape. Panic breaks in control again, but subject notes only oddity as being the cable having an angled path. Subject tugs his end of the cable as it taut and does not move. Control begins to reel the pulley system black. Panic breaks in control again, and the subject notes only oddity as being the cable having an angled path. The subject tugs his end of the cable as taut and does not move. Control begins to reel the pulley system was slack and rapidly wins. Watching the angled cable movement and seeing the grass disturbed further down the angled portion. The reeling and then line vibrates as it meets resistance and emits a twang from the recoil. Subject's camera pans back along the cable, which now appears to slowly be moving this slack, before suddenly all slack is returned and the pulley system begins again. Control request subject remain following cable, and screams are caught in the audio and panic from subject. 5 shots fired as subject aims pistol at something not visible on camera. Control reports being able to see subjects returning towards point of origin where camera shows wire disappearing into a point of floating in the air. As subject passes through the point, all cable is now in the pulley system, and camera films along the floor. Reports that the mirror took approximately 5 seconds to return to reflection and 93 remained blue in color, until 1 after being recovered from subject. A vile-smelling fluid was present on subject's clothing around his hands when firearm was recovered. The fluid dried quickly and was deemed insignificant of study due to lack of quality sample. Control personnel monitoring the mirror state, having seen a massive human being crawling on the ground, easily 50 times the size of a normal person with no facial features and a very short arm reach, pulling itself towards the mirror before it turned to the reflection. Due to proximity, fine details could not be made out, but at least one observer noted that being able to have been shot from the mark's otherwise smooth, featureless face. Field test kit recovered from subject containing newspaper article that reads data expunged and was filed as item data expunged.